Hi there, 4213 Challenges of Childhood. Welcome to the course. I am Dr. Ang, and I wanted to offer a short tutorial on just a quick review of the syllabus. I'm going to offer these throughout the course at different places of things that if we had the opportunity to be in person together, I would go over there with you. But I'm going to just log in here really quickly, and if you can, go ahead and pull up your syllabus and we'll kind of go through this together. As we go through, if you jot down any questions you have, and feel free to email me with those. I will hit my contact information here with you. So if you pull up the syllabus, again, 4213, there's only one section, so this is section 1. It's a 3-credit course, and traditionally, we have had this course where it was all on ground in the classroom. Last semester, we did it where it was a hybrid. We did about half the time was in class and half the time was online. And now, just given everything that's going on with the pandemic and things, just to keep it simplified so that it's very straightforward. It's going to be 100% online this spring. So spring 2021 will be 100% online. That does not mean that it will not be a very rigorous and engaging course and experience for you. I fully suspect and have planned for it to be everything that it has been in the past and more. So I've tried to come up with a lot of different types of activities, so depending on what type of learner you are. So take a look at that, because just on week 1, I have a little quick survey because I want it to be meaningful for you, and I want it to be tap into your learning style where everyone, regardless of your learning styles, can come to the end and say that was a very enriching course and time well spent. So please take time to do that survey, and I'll touch on that later. But let's dive into the point of this little video, is reviewing the syllabus. So again, this course will be 100% online. I have my contact information here. I am located in the Oxley College of Health Sciences. I am a pediatric nurse and part of the nursing faculty. I do all the peds content, legal ethics, various components in the nursing school of nursing. And one of my favorite courses and topics, obviously, since I do have a pediatric background, is this Challenges of Childhood course. Not only does it tap into my passions personally, and I will reveal some of that as we go through, it's also in my line of expertise. So I love teaching this course, and look forward to engaging you in the topics of the Challenges of Childhood. There is not a required textbook for this course. We used to have one. There was tons of reading. I've kind of peeled that back and say, let's learn from each other. Let's learn from the experiences and the expertise, and pulling in everyone's journey and what you've seen, what you've heard, what you've experienced, whether it be through work or professionally or personally, and we bring all that in. And certain things I find certain students are very passionate about, and I want to tap into that, because I feel if we tap into that true passion, it's going to fuel something amazing. So I want you to bring that. I've kind of pushed the textbook aside. A lot of what we're going to do, the experiences, the assignments that you're going to have in Challenges of Childhood are going to be things that you can look up through the internet or through the community, different things that you can access. So we've taken a little different approach in kind of shoving the textbook to the side. However, if you do have, or if you're in the nursing program and you have nursing textbooks or whatever, you may be speech path, you may be psychology major, whatever. If you have textbooks that are offer valuable insight, please reference those and feel free to use those. There's just not any required text for this course. Challenges of Childhood presented by Development Disability to Child, Family, and Community, and genetic, prenatal, environmental, and cultural influences on diagnoses, syndromes of children with special needs. That's the overall overarching goal of why we have created this course and why we offer this at the University of Tulsa. Emphasis on family-centered care as the cornerstone of intervention. It's for students in any field that involves caring for children with special needs. Course overview, a holistic examination of the child from birth through early adulthood in the context of the family system using a sociological perspective. You will see the SLOs, the student learning outcomes, so that you know there is a strategic plan for this course and the classes in each module that comprise Challenges of Childhood, 4213. There's a strategic plan. I try not to have just busy work. There are all components that will meet these SLOs, so you can see that we've outlined that for you there. Methods of teaching and learning. How is this course going to unfold? Class discussion with student preparation. Obviously, we used to do this in person, face-to-face. Since the course is now online, we're going to do that in a variety of different ways. So on week 1, when I mentioned to you there's a brief survey, this is going to be beneficial to you. Some students, like one of the questions I ask on the survey is, how do you learn best? How do you engage best in material when you're learning new information or when you're sharing what you have learned with the rest of the class? We have options, and we're going to have some be kind of fluid as we go along. We can change things based on your responses on week 1 in that survey. We can deliver synchronous, asynchronous, or we can have traditional like discussion boards where it's just written engagement as well. But if we want it synchronous, where it's collaborate and we all get on together and have that discussion, we can have that option. We can also have it asynchronous where you can record, have the option. Do you want to type? Or some people like to get on and create a short video to share their thoughts and opinions, and that's acceptable as well. So I'm giving a lot of opportunity for you to tell me how you learn best and what would make this course meaningful, and on a different note, less painful. So if you do not like to get on video and you don't want that aspect, or just your schedule, and some people have very heavy loads and work, some people have families, different pulls and different strains. If you would prefer it to be asynchronous, where you can tap in anytime during a period of a week, we can look at that option. But I'll just, based on that feedback, I'll process that, and then I'll make adjustments for week 2 on how the course will unfold based on student responses. So make sure you complete that survey. Evaluation. Now you want to know, how do I earn my grade in Challenges of Childhood? We have several methods, as I've mentioned. When you get into some of the nursing courses, there are 4 exams and that is it. And some students argue, I'm not a strong test taker, and they really struggle with that. And we work through that, and there's success there. However, in Challenges of Childhood, I've tried to create several avenues. Some students like to write. Some students enjoy presenting, while others do not. That's incredibly intimidating for some students. There are quizzes, and there is prep work. There's just a variety of assignments, and you'll see all of that under evaluation methods for this course. So in my mind, I like to think, what grade do I want to get out of this course? Because when you determine that, that is possible. And based on the grade that you feel is acceptable and what you want to set for yourself, I would put that out there as a goal and then charge toward that, because it is perfectly doable if you stay engaged in the course and you put your best foot forward. The challenges with an online course are if you start to let yourself fall behind. And in that event, it can be very difficult to make up assignments and make up that time. And there is a certain window of which I will not take any late work. So keep that in mind, and set reminders on your phone when assignments are due, whatever it is that helps you stay organized. Please do that and stay, because this is definitely a doable course to get the grade that you desire, if you're willing to put your the time in. And I'm here to support, obviously, to support that success. You'll see the grading scale, and there is, please make note, there is no mathematical rounding used for any of the grades. So this is, the prefix is a nursing course, and in our nursing courses, the School of Nursing, we do not round. Even if it's close, we do not round. So I want to make that perfectly clear. You'll see it on your syllabus. I'll have you validate that you have thoroughly reviewed and understand your syllabus, as well as you're hopefully watching this video in its entirety and you're hearing me verbalize that as well, that there is no rounding. You can see students, this may apply to some of you. If you're taking 4213 Challenges of Childhood for the Early Intervention Minor, Early Intervention Minor requires that students complete a minimum of 12 hours from the courses below, at least a 2.0 grade point average. 6 of those hours must be at the 3000 level or above. That applies to some of you, and some of you it does not. And you can read more about that. Class participation, we have an actual rubric for that. So present and on time is normally referencing that you're in class and you show up to class. When it's in the online format, you will have a prep assignment that you will do, and then you will hand that in by the designated date. That is how you're going to be present and on time. When there are assignments that are due, that you're turning those in on time. When there is a question posed of you, or let's say the very first week when I have a survey for you to take, do you take that? Do you take it on time and give thorough responses? That's how you are present. That's how you're on time and engaged. And you can look down through that rubric. If you have any questions whatsoever, please reach out to me. And you can see this kind of goes down through the different the assignments, a little more detail. It also goes through online conduct, etiquette. Hopefully we're all familiar with that we're respectful and we're open-minded to other people's opinions. If there's something that someone's very passionate about, we're gonna listen respectfully. And just remember, online etiquette is similar to classroom etiquette. When we engage in the online environment, whether it be through, if we're doing videos, if we're doing asynchronous, synchronous, and we're all on together, if that's what the majority of the class chooses, in a format something like Collaborate, or if it's even in a Blackboard and we have, if we're following through messaging there, whichever the case may be, we want to be professional, avoid slang, and just bring our scholarly selves to whichever format we're using. When we are in the home environment sometimes, or if you're in your dorm or whatever the case may be, just present yourself in a professional and a scholarly manner. By the way you physically present yourself, the way you verbalize and express yourself, I would ask you to also do the same. If you contact me for any reason, I respectfully request that you would indicate which course you have a question with, as well as if you'll indicate your name. I teach in several courses, but my goal is to respond to you within 24 hours. If you haven't received a response from me, because I'm out in clinical days, some days that are 8 to 12 hour days in the clinical. So sometimes it's difficult on those days for me to respond in that time frame. If you would please, at that 24-hour mark, if you haven't heard from me, maybe send another one and say, just, hey, want to make sure you got this, because I may be working down through my emails after a 12-hour clinical day. So if you kind of prompt that, that'll bring it up onto my radar and I can respond at that time. Or if you haven't heard from me at that point, go ahead and text me. I have my cell phone number listed on my contact information as well. Please don't use that as a first line of defense. Please Please look at the syllabus, review the course syllabus and look thoroughly in Harvey, then email me. But then if you haven't heard from me in that 24-hour window, because it is my ultimate goal to respond in a timely manner to you. So if you haven't at that point, then by all means during business hours, traditional hours, or even 8 to 8. I do have 5 kids, so 8 to 8 is probably acceptable, and I'll try to respond as quickly as I can, because I am never in a mode where I'm ignoring you. So just getting that on my radar would be helpful, because if it's a question that I have several people asking, then I'll just come on Blackboard and I'll answer it in the form of an announcement and send us an email. So I mentioned that because occasionally I'll have students text me and they'll just ask a question, and I don't have, if I teach them 5 courses, I don't know what course, and a lot of times I don't even know what student it is. So identifying the course, and that would be perfect. So let's see, School of Nursing course policies. You can see that there. Review that. Specific course policies. Again, it's mentioning, referencing the syllabus. Come to me with any questions that you have. In the final exams, you're not supposed to schedule any travel or leaving town, anything. If we're going to, depending on how the end of the semester looks, I will communicate as we go, and we just need to be flexible with each other, because as I get information from the university, some changes may have to be implemented into the course. And I like to set things and think that when we unfold it January 19th, that's the way it'll stay all the way through May. But I realize there are going to be some changes, and we've all learned through over the past year that we have to be flexible. So I would appreciate your patience and flexibility, and I will be giving the same. So as soon as I learn information, I'll make sure that I pass that information on to you. Academic misconduct. Please review this. We take this very, very serious at the University of Tulsa, especially in the School of Nursing. Plagiarism, cheating, counterfeit work, stealing, falsifying. Instructor includes members of the faculty, teaching assistants, laboratory assistants. Anyone that is taking information or presenting information as that it's their own, that is academic misconduct. And the consequences are very, very stern and very swift. And I hope and pray we don't have to deal with any of this, but we do in the online world, and we're going to have a lot of assignments that are going to be submitted, and I have on my end what will pull from and alert me if there's any indication work is matching another student's work, possible plagiarism of any sort. If it recognizes the content from a previous semester, whatever the case may be, I'm alerted. And that software is very, very tight, and it's just meant to hold us accountable. And I don't want to have to deal with any concerns with academic misconduct. So please, it's generally when students let things, they start to fall behind, and they get concerned about their grade, and they're trying to play catch up, that we do things we otherwise would not do. So again, when I was encouraging you right from the start, set on your calendar, let's get the dates on, and we'll figure out the format of the class of what's going to work best for the majority. We'll set that, we'll formulate that together. And as we move forward, if you stay on top of that, I don't anticipate any of this being a problem. And the course is very, very doable in that sense, as long as you don't let it snowball and start missing assignments. We do have Title IX information there with all the numbers if you should so choose to access any of that. But as always, I am going to be your first line of resource. If I can do anything for you, I am more than happy to do so. Again, this course is an absolute honor and privilege for me to be able to journey with you in this educational experience through challenges of childhood. If at any point it taps into something very specific and real and raw to you, or something you're passionate about, please reach out and we can talk one-on-one. Find ways that you can dig your claws in and really make a difference with it, because I definitely at the end of the semester, I want you to look back and say that these assignments made you stronger and they have fueled you to do greater things and to make a difference after this course. So this will be time well spent. I am Dr. Ang. My contact information is throughout Harvey, as well as I'm right here in the syllabus. So please do not hesitate to reach out if you have any questions regarding the syllabus.